This year's training camp was honestly the best one we've ever had. You know, each year we try and make it a little bit better, but this one was by leaps and bounds the best one we've had. Luckily, Hooper with the full gas series, he was nice enough to let us tie it in with his race, and we stayed an extra couple days. And it was such good practice because we were able to take a track that had already been raced on and create new lines and try and find which line was the best. We had a new girl this year, Jordan Jarvis, and she had a great attitude. You know, usually the walking is the hardest part to get these new guys used to, or girls, but she was a champ. She walked every time, no complaints. And we tried to do as much simulation as we could, not just with the riding, but with the walking and the bike work and everything. So, you know, after we walked before the event started, and then after each day we would walk as well. So, all in all, this was by far our best training camp. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Couldn't have done it with all the guys from KTM and Hooper, so it's been great.
In the past, the training camp has almost been like a race. Everybody just kind of tries to beat each other. This year we changed it up a little bit. I think it was really good. We did a couple tests yesterday and then broke down the test into sections and kind of worked on some stuff with different lines and kind of hopefully open up people's minds to what different lines there are. That, you know, you can go way over there or main line and they're almost the same. So in the race, if you need to, you can pull out that outside line or whatever it is and miss the bumps and maybe go, you know, this as fast or faster. I feel the best about this team, you know, better about this team than I have any of our teams. I think if we can all, you know, stay up, stay healthy, and just be smart and ride like we are, I think we're gonna have a good week over there.
It was cool to have not necessarily instruction on the best way to do every single turn, but the best way for you to do every single turn. I think under this tent there's 7 or 8, 9 world champion riders, so you know, out of 11 bikes sitting here, I think that's pretty strong. So I think everybody has their worth. You know, we know Caleb, I think hands down is the fastest off-road rider probably in the world, if I had to say, and Sipes is probably the fastest cross-test rider in the world, and Taylor is just so damn strong.
I haven't been super big into the camps before because we kind of just throw together a track and ride the grass and stuff, and then you know, you get your bike kind of set up to what you like when it's kind of smooth, and then you get to I always get to the race and it's choppy and rough after the first time we go around it. It gets pretty blown out, and you know, now we've got like a full-blown race course that we just raced on too, so it's rough and yeah, it was super dry, so I think it couldn't have been any better of a simulation for sure. All of us are riding really well, so we should have a really good chance at, you know, getting that title back, and hopefully we all keep it together and keep our bikes together in one piece. That's one of the biggest issues, just, you know, not having somebody break down or fall down and get hurt. It's a long 6 days, and it's tough because you're always right on that edge the whole time, so.
Yeah, definitely this year, I'm really confident with our junior team, which I was picked for the junior team again. Me, Josh Toth, and Ben Kelly. Same team as last year, and we came out with a second last year, and we were close to that win, and Italy actually ended up winning, but they lost one of their strongest riders. He's bumped up to the World Trophy this year, he aged out, so yeah, we're looking really strong this year, and Josh, he's just back off the broken leg, and he's riding awesome. And Ben, you know, he's completely killing it, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to going at it this year and kicking some ass, because I know that I know these guys are ready for it. This will be my 7th year in a row going, and you know, Josh and Ben, neither of those guys are new to this either, so we're all some veterans, and we know what we're doing, so we just need to go over there and get the job done.
Yeah, the camp as a whole was really good. I think it ran really smooth, and yeah, having it in conjunction with full gas was cool. So we started off with 2 days of sprint enduro racing, and yeah, it was good to just go all out as fast as you could. And then for the third day, we did more of that, but also worked on sections and technique and kind of analyzed everyone's riding and tried to see what we were doing right and wrong and improve, and as well as working on bikes and just learning quicker, more efficient ways to do so. I'm happy that the junior team is the same as the previous year with Josh and Grant. I think we have a strong team, and they're both riding really good. So I think we have as best a chance as ever. We did really good last year and ended up with second, but everyone had their issues. So hopefully we've improved going into this year, and we can stay on 2 wheels and have a clean 6 days and finally get that win again.
Yeah, this training camp was literally my first time back on a bike in 3 months, so that was definitely tough because I came down here and Sunday, Monday actually is when the full gas was here, so I didn't want to hop right on the bike and go into a race situation, so I just had to sit there and watch, and then so I was around all weekend, checked out the course. Yeah, until the last 2 days when I got on the bike, that was my first time on, and got thrown right into some special test racing, so that was pretty intense. I actually felt surprisingly good, you know. It's tricky because you're like hesitant to put a leg out, and you're just kind of nervous for the first ride or so. But yeah, got really comfortable towards the end of the day on the cross test, and was able to figure out what I need to work on coming into Portugal, so that was the whole benefit, I guess, and yeah, just gonna work on some things and work towards getting a trophy or a junior trophy team on top this year in Portugal.
So we're down here in South Carolina for the 2019 ISDE camp. Been down here for a few days, helping out Ryan and Taylor and the guys and all the team. For 2 days they had the full gas sprint enduro, and they got to walk and see all the tests and race those for 2 days. So this is really kind of day 3 for them. First day of the training camp, but basically we went out and dissected the cross test, figured out different lines, going outside to inside to miss some rough acceleration bumps, trying to figure out which lines are the fastest, staying in the rut with a deep silt or going out wide to the next turn, and then having to come back for the following turn. Stopwatch never lies, so we used all 10 of the riders, and they each got to do the sections a bunch of times themselves on the clock, and then we could relate and understand on different riders what they're better at. And then we also went in the woods and we did the enduro test and worked on different sections for technical stuff with rocks and different ways to wheelie through it or hit rocks and jump over them, and how to get that fastest speed. And we really realized, and so did all the riders, that a little bit of a mistake makes a big difference. Half a second, maybe a second, which those all add up, and at the end of like a 6 days can be the difference between the teams winning the overall or not. So it's really adds up and every second counts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for this team. You know, me and Becca are returning, so we'll have our experience and our wisdom to put on Jordan and help her. She's a very quick learner, so she definitely has the speed. I think in the woods, she has a little bit to learn, but I think she'll be working on it, you know, between now and 6 days, and I think she'll learn a lot and be a lot more comfortable as we go into 6 days. So I think we have a really strong team. Even if one of us makes a mistake, you know, I think we're all pretty close, so I think it'll be really good. Yeah, we could just really guide Becca or Jordan with our experience, so I think it'll be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I had my motocross background growing up, but I would definitely say I'm an enduro rider now. I've been riding woods for almost 10 years, so I have a lot of experience, and you know, going to France a few years ago was quite an eye-opener. That was like one of the toughest races I've ever done, and I always told myself I wouldn't go to ISDE just because I knew it was involved, but I'm so happy I did because it was one of the coolest experiences, like to be able to experience a country while you're riding your dirt bike for 6 days, and it was really cool. Like, you learn a lot about yourself, really, and how to work on your bike, and just kind of take whatever's thrown at your way. And so, you know, this being the 3rd year, I definitely feel way more comfortable than I ever have going into 6 days. You know, we raced the entire full gas series this year, so just dedicating myself to doing that and like learning how to go faster, it's just helped tremendously. And I definitely feel a lot more confident just in myself overall.
First off, it's been a long time since I've been a rookie in anything. I was actually on a train ride home to my house in North Carolina, and Auntie had given me a call, and he told me about all this, and he told me that he wanted me on the team. And I immediately called my dad right after to tell him what just happened and get his opinion. We decided pretty quickly that it was something that we needed to think about, being such an awesome and big opportunity. And we talked it over a couple days later, and we decided we wanted to do it. And it's going to be tough, definitely not what I grew up doing, but I'm down for a challenge. I've always wanted to try other things in the world of dirt bikes and stuff. So to check this off my list this early is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of miles, but I'm really excited to try it.
So our trophy team, I feel this year is probably the strongest we've ever had. You know, obviously 2016 we won the trophy team championship with the replacement rider on the last minute. So, I mean, it doesn't always say you have the strongest team. You have to have the stars also line up. But starting with the E1 class, Ryan Sipes, I mean, talk about a rider who can do it all. You know, it was a little bit of a question mark for this year if he has enough still for the guys in the woods and on the grass track, since he hasn't done much racing this year off-road wise. But I'm glad we made the decision to select him, and obviously he proved, showed up here on a full gas, won the full gas weekend, and then followed up 2 strong days also after the full gas race. So he's one of our strongest contenders for sure. But I mean, the entire team, Caleb Russell on the E2 with Taylor Robert also on the E2 class, they're both riding really well this year. And Caleb been doing the full gas series has helped him a lot, preparing for 6 days. And then Taylor is doing the same thing in the West Coast, racing the sprint heroes there. So we're all kind of putting focus on the sprint format. And now it showed at the camp here. Like, they're all putting in good times, and you know, putting in the work all 4 days. And Stu Baylor is this year racing a 500. It's always kind of our troublesome, the E3 class. We don't have anyone racing the full season here with the 500 4-stroke or 300 2-stroke. So one rider always have to kind of sacrifice and ride a bike that they haven't really used to the whole season. So, but Stu is adjusting really well for the 500, and he's doing really well with it. So looking forward to have actually a 4-stroke in the E3 class instead of a 300 2-stroke like we had last year. So I think overall the trophy team, the selection, the bike selection, and the entire package, I think we have a very strong shot at this year, like every year. I mean, we've been so close all these years and finishing second a few times now. So it's time to kick it up a notch and hopefully be on the top box. Yeah, so the junior team has been now the same pretty much the couple last years, and starting with Josh Toad, racing in the E1 class on a 250F. So this year he's not racing 250F bike anywhere, but he's a good 250 rider. So we selected him for the E1 class, and unfortunately he suffered a leg injury a few months back, and he's been actually on the sidelines until this training camp. So we delivered him a bike here at the training camp, and that was the first time he's been on a bike since his injury. So he did a couple warm-up laps and wanted to join the camp. It wasn't really mandatory for him to be at, but just kind of, you know, hang out with us. But he just dived in, and he impressed right away on the cross test. He was very strong, and very good times. I mean, he was up there with the trophy guys and was impressing for sure. But now, you know, he has couple more months time to get the legs strong and get his riding fitness up and also get comfortable in the woods. So I'm looking forward to have him come back and represent the junior team. Then we have Ben Kelly, who raced E2 already last year, but on a 350. Now this year he opted to race a 450. So we'll see how that goes. I think he's riding the 450 well, and he's going to also be doing some racing already here in the US on a 450. So he's already putting in the time and effort needed to be good at 6 days on a 450. And then we have Grant Baylor returning. He's been on a 450 for quite a few years now, and he's always strong at 6 days. No matter what, you know, you can count on him being up there and battling for the top position. So overall, I think our junior team, I mean, there's no changes from last year, and last year we were already up there. So it's just a matter of lining up all the stars right and getting to the top step as well. Yeah, so I mean, we can pretty much teach everything about 6 days and about, you know, the bike work and maintenance and everything around speed. But the one thing that, you know, I'm looking from the rider is like how, you know, the speed, and that's something that would take the longest to teach someone. So I'm looking at the fastest girl. Doesn't matter motocross or off-road, and we have Brandy, who's an off-roader, motocrosser turned to off-roader, and Pekka, same way, and they've already proven their reliability and speed at 6 days. And this year I was looking for a new rider. Jordan obviously is one of the fastest motocross girls and definitely has the talent to do well at 6 days and in off-road. And this was her first time really racing and riding in the woods and off-road in general. We're going to have a kind of a training program for her now, ramping up now, starting from the training camp, and we have a couple months time to get her up to speed and comfortable. But already here from day 1 to day 4 now, huge improvements from bike maintenance. I mean, everything already goes well. She already has a very good technical knowledge of her bike and how to work on a bike. So I was actually very pleased and surprised how well she can work on a bike. So it made that part of the training a little bit easier for her. Now we're just really focusing on the woods riding and also the cross test when it gets rough, to change the lines a little bit and the line choices. But overall, I mean, she improved every day. So I'm expecting what she was on day 1, she's already much better on day 4, and you know, 2 months from now she'll be even better. So I'm looking forward to the women's team. We've been twice second now. You know, this is my 3rd year managing the women, and obviously the goal is to win this year. And you know, we're going to go up against some you know, heavy countries like Australia. They're returning with their same team. So. But you know, we got to do our homework now from today on and until 6 days, and hopefully we can challenge the Australia team and also fight for the top step.